Hey, all you vegan freaks. This is Chris from Satisfy the Mind. You know, there are many great podcasts out there, but there's nothing quite like Vegan Freak Radio. Like many of you, I began listening to the doctors Jenna and Bob Torres almost from the beginning. Not quite, but almost from the beginning back in 2005, and I haven't stopped since. It's really one of the only podcasts, in fact, maybe the only podcast that I always listen to as soon as I see that there's a new episode. So it's little wonder to me that Jenna and Bob have the most popular vegan podcast. I think Vegan Freak Radio is like having two really cool vegan friends come over to your house and hang out with you for an hour or so once a week. Especially in this world where many vegans feel very much alone wherever they happen to live. I think Jenna and Bob, with their podcast, their blogs, their forums, and their chat room, provide a ton of much-needed vegan sanity in this stupidly omnivorous world that we all live in. But more than any of that, the main reasons why any of us listen to these two PhD professors talk about the things that are
hot vegan,
or Temple Grandin, or PETA, or Whole Foods, or the environmentally friendly Toyota Prius, is because of their insight, their wisdom, their intellect, and most of all, their utterly unflappable maturity, wisdom, and sophistication.
Fuck! Fuck, motherfucker, fuck! Shitty and fucked up. Shithead.
Kicks ass.
Fuck. Bullshit. Fucking bitch and moan about the food chain. Fuck, shit, fuck.
Manscaping.
Poop.
I thought I was the only big
What
bop.
the fuck?
Cat snarf.
Shut the fuck up. I think they're fucked on the head. Bullshit. A fucking shitstorm.
Oh, where is this shit?
Ridiculous shit. Sounds like complete crap. That's the way life is. Tough. You'll deal with it, right?
Sure.
Okay.
So, congratulations, Jenna and Bob, on 100 motherfucking episodes, and here's to 100 motherfucking more.
Coming to you from high atop their elite fortress of moral superiority, here are your protein-deficient hosts, Bob and Jenna.
Hey, everybody, this is Bob.
And Jenna.
And I feel like I should be saying, fuck.
Thank you to Chris. Satisfy the Mind for that awesome clip that he produced. Obviously spent quite a long time doing. So.
Absolutely. Really appreciate
Yeah.
that. It was very kind of you
Yeah.
to have done that, Chris. And we encourage all of you to check out Satisfy the Mind. So it's one of my favorite podcasts, one that I never miss. So it's great. So here we are for show 100. Finally, after a hiatus longer than we wanted to be, but you don't want to hear about all of our complaining.
We do not.
All you want to hear about is show 100. Now, today we're going to do a little bit of a different kind of show because it's show 100. And I have to admit, part of the reason that we didn't get to the show sooner is because I had fairly high expectations for the show. And I was like hesitant to do it because I kept putting it off and thinking, yeah, I should do this, I should do that. And then it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And I don't know. I went back and went through all the shows and I had a hard time remembering like where things were. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like we wanted to do something spectacular, and then so we kept trying to think of spectacular things to do, and we're just like, well, let's just
Let's just do
it.
Yeah, let's just do it and plow right through it. The thing is this is a really funny thing too. And for a lot of our listeners, they'll be listening to the shows and they go through and they listen to a lot of the back episodes. Like if you subscribe, you can listen all the way back to the first show. We'll play some of the first show for you in just a moment. But you can go all the way back and listen to the first show. And I think a lot of our subscribers know better where things are than I do.
Yeah.
I say something on the show, I vaguely remember what I've said, but then I don't, and then it's like, boop, gone, out of my head, bye-bye. Poosh. So I have a hard time remembering where things are, but I did remember a couple things that I thought were funny from the show and that you thought were funny or interesting. But I thought we'd go back and just talk about some of the things like show one and kind of how we got started, stuff like that. But before we get into that, we've got a dire thing I think that needs to be discussed. And I think it's totally dire.
Yeah.
In what respect, Charlie?
Yes. All right. So, as in case you're living under a rock, and look, it's election season here, and I kind of look at the elections in the way I look at sports, except that the elections count in some regard for things like the Supreme Court appointments. But as you well know by now, and I don't mean to be American centric, but
I have a feeling that most of the world knows about it.
I would think they would. I would.
Reading newspapers around the globe, reading newspapers from
Sure.
Spain, and our election is like major headlines there. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Because we control everything. Although that's fading.
yeah, the world of Western capitalism is falling down around us as we speak.
Yeah, Western capitalism. Oh, by the way, for those of you that may not be catching up on this, Western capitalism nearly failed a week ago today. 2 weeks ago
And it's
today.
not doing so hot today
And
either.
today it's in a lot of trouble as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, John McCain. Sorry, Emmy's doing something strange behind me. What are you doing, Em? What is that?
She's jealous because we were trying to think. We needed to give them a segment on the show, and,
Yes.
but they always make our equipment go insane because
Okay.
they're too loud.
Emmy, out of my trash, grabbed a Primal Strip wrapper. Primal Strips. In case you don't know what these are, they're like soy, or some of them are soy, some of them are seitan. They're basically like a meatless jerky, right? They love these things. They love the way they smell. I had a wrapper in my trash can. She pulled it out, and it's all full of dog slobber now. Anyway, the point is, John McCain, the Republican nominee for president, has chosen Sarah Palin as his vice presidential pick.
Yes, very not vegan choice, as many of you have pointed out on the forums.
Not at all. This is someone who shoots animals from helicopters. She has a bear that has been made into a rug in her office. I mean, she's just like a very not vegan.
She hunts moose. She thinks the polar bears are doing just fine.
Sure. So
We should hunt them too.
she believes the Earth is 6,000 years old. Anyway, there are all kinds of issues with her. But interestingly, she's been giving interviews here and there, just a couple, right? Because we don't want to let her out too far. Because, once you hear this, you'll understand why they don't let her out too often to give interviews. I want to play for you a clip, and I just want you to listen to this. This is insanity. Okay, let's just listen.
Why isn't it better, Governor Palin, to spend $700 billion helping middle-class families who are struggling with health care, housing, gas, and groceries? Allow them to spend more and put more money into the economy instead of helping these big financial institutions that played a role in creating this mess.
That's why I say I, like every American I'm speaking with, we're ill about this position that we have been put in, where it is the taxpayers looking to bail out. But ultimately, what the bailout does is help those who are concerned about the health care reform that is needed to help shore up our economy, helping it's got to be all about job creation, too, shoring up our economy and putting it back on the right track. So healthcare reform and reducing taxes and reining in spending has got to accompany tax reductions and tax relief for Americans. And trade, we've got to see trade as opportunity, not as a competitive, scary thing, but 1 in 5 jobs being created in the trade sector today. We've got to look at that as more opportunity. All those things under the umbrella of job creation.
Well, let me tell you, did that give me the shits?
Okay, what?
That made no sense. She started out okay.
Kind
for
of.
the first few words.
It kind of reminds... Oh, go ahead.
It's just like, is that English?
Yeah.
It's just like phrases that she's putting together and they don't go together.
It's like a surrealist joke or something,
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. How many giraffes does it take to make a bathtub? Brightly colored metal. I don't know. It's like it's like she had
like an absurdist drama. Here, play. Yeah.
I what did I say it was?
Surrealist.
Yes. Anyway,
either way, doesn't matter.
But the thing is, I think what she has is like this little set of canned things that she's able to say, that she's memorized, and then when she's forced off script or she gets a little confused, she kind of collides them all together. So she's this is like. This actually reminds me a lot of some of the shit I used to read on student exams. Mm-hmm. You'd see like students who crammed the night before and they got 3 or 4 ideas and then they
like, oh yeah, I have to mention this.
Yeah, it's like kitchen sinking it, right? Yeah. They screw it all up. Now, let me read for you what she said, okay? Now, the answer that Palin said was this. That's why I say, I, like every American I'm speaking with, we're ill. We're ill about this position that we have been put in, where it is the taxpayers looking to bail out. This is English. But ultimately, what the bailout does is help those who are concerned about the healthcare reform that is needed to help shore up the economy, helping it's got to be about job creation too, shoring up our economy and putting it back on the right track. So healthcare reform and reducing taxes and reining in spending has got to accompany tax reductions and tax relief for Americans. And trade. We've got to see trade as an opportunity, not as a competitive, scary thing, but 1 in 5 jobs being created in the trade sector today. We've got to look at that as more opportunity. What? Okay. What?
In what respect, Charlie?
Dude. Okay.
I can sympathize with people being put on the spot because, I explained this before that, as an introvert, sometimes I'm not so great on my feet and everything. And sometimes I stumble around words when I'm trying to say things the way I want to say them. But
you're not running for vice president. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
So enough of the politics, I guess. Do you have anything else you want to say about this?
No.
I just had to play that for you. I can't wrap my head around the fact that a major political party anywhere in the world would put forth someone who clearly cannot put together the kinds of thoughts one needs to put together on the spot in order to be a politician. I mean, it's just in that sense, right? I mean, just a basic curiosity about the world would be nice every so often in a politician.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
like some sort of knowledge of issues and history and
sure,
things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So crazy shit going on, and man, what a crazy country we live in. A crazy country.
Yeah.
Now let's get to show 100.
Okay.
So
I guess we asked people what they wanted for show 100, and a lot of them people said that you sort of wanted us to take a look back.
Yes.
So we thought we'd go all the way back and talk about how we got started and show 1. And listening to show 1, it's kind of embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing. And for those of you that may have listened to it, you'll know the pain. You'll know the pain of show 1, and we're going to make you go through some of it, about 2.5 minutes of it today. But here's the thing with show 1. Basically, we had an iBook. I had this cheesy ass USB microphone plugged in the side of it, and I nagged Jenna. I am a world-class nudge. I nagged Jenna for weeks.
You are.
For weeks. I am a world-class nudge. I'm very, very good at what I do. I nagged Jenna for weeks to do a podcast. Now, a lot of you don't know Jenna, but for those of you that do know Jenna, she's a fairly quiet person. Mm-hmm. And so getting her to do a podcast was one of these things I thought, I would like to do a podcast, but I'll never be able to get Jenna to do it. I finally annoyed you enough and got you to do it. But you didn't really want to do it.
No, I didn't. I'm just very self-conscious. I just said a few minutes ago, I'm always great, talking extemporaneously.
Sure.
And I prefer much to have things written out. I'm much better in writing.
Yeah.
And so, I thought, oh my God, how am I supposed to do a podcast?
So we ended up doing it. I ended up nagging her enough and we did it. And, show 1 is so embarrassing, but we'll go back and play for you the first minute and 55 seconds of show 1 so you can hear the difference, because we have not only have our positions changed and have the way that we has the way that we approach the show changed, but the dogs are really distracting me. I feel like Sarah Palin. I'm like, what? Oh, look. Anyway, not only have our positions changed, but our technology has changed as well as we've done the show, and you'll hear that right now.
Don't eat, feel, and in my jeans. I'm happy to see you if you know what I mean. Let's get it
Hello out there, vegan weirdos, and welcome. This is Vegan Freaks, a podcast live on the web. I'm Bob,
And I'm Jenna.
and we're the Vegan Freaks, and we're here to talk to you about being vegan, being freaky, our book, our show, all kinds of things. We got all kinds of things. Okay, this is like if you have friends over at your parents' house and your mom pulls out like a crayon drawing you did in like second grade, and like, look what they did. So this is how I feel about this at the moment. Oh, these dogs are annoying me. Things in mind to talk to you about in these podcasts over the next couple of weeks and months and years, hopefully. So, I don't know. We're hoping to do this show. How often do you think?
Maybe once every other week.
Once every other week, once a week, as often as we can kind of pull it together and feel like it. Because, I don't know, we're kind of disorganized. We're always with the program.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That
Some things
hasn't
never
changed.
change doing this. But yeah, we're going to try to come out to you every so often, talk to you about what's going on in our lives and what's going on in our vegan freakdom here. So, basically, we've been running a blog for a while.
Yeah, we've been getting lots of good topics and thoughts and comments from a lot of those out there who've been reading our blog, and we've been sharing them and put them all together and wrote a book about it.
That's right. So our book, which is, and this site's tied into our book is called Vegan Freak, Being Vegan in a Non-Vegan World. And the book basically is a guide for vegans. I mean, it's a guide for new vegans, for people who've been vegan for a long time, or people who are really just thinking about veganism.
Our goal, really, with this book is to get you to love your inner vegan freak, because vegans are always thought of as freaks, no matter what part of the country you go to, except maybe certain parts of California, Portland maybe. Vegans are freaks just because by what they do, by what they believe in.
Yeah, I think that's so true. Is that so often when you tell someone you're a vegan, they look at you like you just bust a fart or something like that, especially if you tell them you're a vegan for animal rights reasons. So there you go. That's the first minute and a half, not minute and a half, but about 2 minutes of Vegan Freak Radio ever recorded. And oh my God, does that hurt?
Yeah.
And I had to pull the volume up and do all kinds of things just to make that.
We were sharing a microphone.
We were sharing a really crappy microphone, and it's so embarrassing because we both sound so different.
I know.
We both sound so different.
We do. It's
I think
weird.
our radio personalities have evolved a little bit. I think our ability to do this has evolved.
Developed a witty repartee.
We always have witty repartee. It's just that we've become more comfortable doing it on the show. So with that said, some things never change with Vegan Freak Radio. We have we used our dining room table hunched over a little a little MacBook. No, it wasn't even a MacBook. It was an iBook, because this is pre-MacBook days. And anyway, some things never change. And here's an example of things that never change, despite the fact we moved into we created like a studio in my office with soundproofing and all that shit. Listen to this.
Fly, they're never allowed to walk. They don't move from these cages their entire lives. And not just they're in this cage, but there are cages above them, cages below them. So they're shitting on their people below them. They have shit on them from the birds above them, and it's just really horrible.
Wow, did you hear that? That's a speaking of wild animals, that is a local species called redneck. Yeah, we've got a couple of those around here where we live. And for some reason, I don't know, small penises, or I don't know what's wrong with them, but they have to make their trucks as loud as possible. And here we are inside our house talking to you on this beautiful microphone, and all we have is this crazy truck going by outside.
Yeah, and it's the ATVs and the snowmobiles in the winter are just a bit too much. But anyway.
The snowmobiles can be pretty annoying.
Yes, very loud. They have to make them very loud.
And we live in a place where there are actually signs around the town that say no snowmobiles on the sidewalk.
You think they listen to that?
They don't listen to that, of course. They don't listen to that.
Yeah, things never change. I mean, it's one of the challenges of doing a podcast, and people ask us, some of these kind of questions like, what are the challenges of doing a podcast? ATVs, snowmobiles, loud trucks, motorcycles, fighter jets.
Yes.
One day.
Yes.
Dogs.
Indeed. And you paying attention to them constantly.
Well, that's because if I don't pay attention to them, they sit there and
no,
hit
you just
their
ignore
paws.
them. Just
okay,
ignore them.
I'll ignore them.
Ignore them.
I don't know why. They're very attention hungry. We just took them out for a walk. They were calm. And now all of a sudden they're like all hyper.
Yeah, well, because they set out to annoy me. This is their job. They try to annoy me lately.
They don't.
They do. They do. Lately, I think Mole has had... I've been working on some work that's really required an intense amount of concentration. And every time, it is without fail, he'll be quiet. There he goes. He'll be laying down sleeping somewhere. So I'll be like, great, I'm going to go do the work I have to do. This is probably the same thing with kids. I don't know. I'll go and I'll sit down and I'll do the work and I'll start working on it. And I'm like really into it. And then all of a sudden, he'll start barking. It's like he knows. So I'm sending him telepathic signals that I'm working on something really difficult. So he has to wake up and run around and be an idiot. So that's what I've had to put up with for a little while. So I'm trying to be patient and like all zen about it. But anyway, so, around here it's been tough because of all of the motorized vehicles that our neighbors are all very fond of. Yes. And I also found a clip that about my wishes for dingoes to eat the children of one of our neighbors. But I didn't play that because I went back and listened. I was like, wow, I was mean. I actually felt a little bad when I went back and listened to it. And I guess that's for those of you who have access to the back shows to go find, because it's out there. Yeah. One of the things, though, that I think one of the moments that when I went back and thought about the shows, for some reason, the thing I really remembered was this time that I talked about an experience I had on the show, and for some reason it just like stuck out when I went back to thought about things on the show that I thought were kind of funny, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm going to play that for you right now. Ooh. Also, I made a really dumb mistake this weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah, the look on your face was priceless.
So, okay, so check this out. Our peanut butter, we've got like the hippie peanut butter, like the fresh ground stuff, because we buy it from the co-op, and grind it up and all that. And it's in this little tub, and we've got cashew butter, we've got almond butter, we've got peanut butter, and we've got tahini. And they're all in the same tubs. And I reach into the fridge, I'm in a hurry, I just want to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I reach into the fridge and I pull out the tahini and I pull out the jelly. And I put the bread down and I start making myself a tahini and jelly sandwich, but thinking that the tahini is peanut butter. So I'm spreading this gooey tahini all over my bread. I'm like...
Pretty thick, too.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with the peanut butter? I'm like, this peanut butter is really runny this time. I figured, I don't know why. I just, what the hell, So I'm in a hurry and I'm thinking, whatever. So I put it together and then I take a bite. And maybe you could describe my face. I can only imagine what it looked like.
Yeah, your mouth was sort of hanging open. You just had this look of disgust on your face. It was hilarious.
So for the record, I got to tell you, tahini and jelly does not work, okay? It's really nasty. But yeah. I finished it.
You must have been really hungry.
Well, I didn't want to waste it. And I didn't want to give it to the dog.
Yeah, that would have made his tongue stick to the roof of his mouth for sure.
And I put a lot of tahini on there, so I'm not going to waste it.
Yeah, so someone on our forums is looking for some uses for tahini, and that's not one of them.
No, that's really not one of the uses for tahini. That sucked. It was really bad. So that was our weekend of cooking. Some good things, some bad things. But also, in addition to cooking, we kind of like hang out.
Did we get the signal? Go. We interrupt Vegan Freak Radio with a message from the Angry Hippies podcast. Hey, Bob and Jenna, this is the Angry Hippie here. I just wanted to say congratulations on 100 episodes. An amazing feat by truly amazing and inspirational people. You've done so much to advance this cause and to reach so many people with it, and to go beyond that and give us all a home online to meet, mix, and mingle, and more importantly, to share and discuss and support one another. Can't wait to see what magic waits in the next 100. Thanks. What? That's it? Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Why, what's wrong with that? No, it was good. Whatever you want. We now return you to your regularly scheduled program, already in progress.
Thank you for the Angry Hippie. We mentioned before that we were going to do an interview with the Angry Hippie. That's coming up in show 101.
Indeed.
So we did do the interview. We have it ready to roll.
We've had it for a while.
Yeah.
So, but 101 we will be doing. We will have the Angry Hippie on.
Yeah, we had a good conversation. It was nice.
We had a great conversation, and cool. So the Angry Hippie bust into the show here and gave us a little message.
Yeah, very cool. So yeah, tahini and
tahini and peanut butter doesn't work.
Tahini and jelly.
I mean, yeah. Well, tahini and peanut butter probably doesn't work either.
That would be horrible.
Tahini and jelly doesn't work. And I still remember that. That was really disgusting. So, and I usually make like triple deckers if I'm going to make peanut butter and jelly, which I don't really make much anymore. Since show 66, back when I had my, turning point, my health turning point there. So, yeah. there are, of course, a million other things. And it's just like trying to go back and figure out other things out of the show was really a challenge for us. And I spent a lot of time going through the show archives and really feeling embarrassed, like going back and listening to a lot of it.
Oh
like,
my God.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, really.
So it's really hard for us to pull things out. But did you
I had a few favorite moments that, I couldn't remember what show we were on at all. I mean, one of them, the cat, our cat Michi, actually inserted himself. He rarely comes around because the dogs are usually around, and he usually tries to stay as far away from the dogs as possible. But actually, one time he came up and meowed in the microphone, and that was it was cute.
That was one of your favorite moments?
Yeah.
And I think some of my favorite moments have been the interviews we've done.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think we've done a lot of great interviews with people. Gary Francione's interviews have always been among our more popular shows, but I've also really liked having like Sarah Kramer and Drina on the show.
I always love having Drina on the show.
And, of course, we've had Dino.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I didn't get a Show 100 thing from Dino.
Oh, I forgot.
He can do it for Show 101.
All right.
Dino, you hear me? So, anyway, it's always nice to have different guests on the show. Because, frankly, like when we do a podcast, we really can't just kind of sit down and do a show. Mm-mm. We could, but they probably would sound like ass. And so what it requires is a fair amount of preparation. And in truth, it's difficult after 3 years to find a fresh formula.
Yeah, and we try and put in new segments and things and try and come up with new ideas every once in a while. But the easiest way to insert new blood into the podcast is to interview new and different people.
Sure. But we've always been, I think one of the things that's changed about the show is that as we've gone along, I think we've always tried to do the best we possibly could with this. I mean, there are times that we don't. There are times the shows are flat, like today. But there are other times when I feel like we've done good work. So we try really hard to bring you the best possible show we can bring you with what we've got on hand and with what we can do. And for those of you that have supported us over the years, we really appreciate that support because it's helped us to be able to do this. It's helped us to be able to get equipment to make us sound the way we sound. And it's really just been essential for us to grow and to move in the directions we moved in. Because as we've gotten better equipment, we've been able to devote more time to thinking about things to do in the show rather than thinking about, okay, how the hell are we going to produce this? Mm-hmm. So it's been cool. It's been cool to do that and to move in that direction. But after 3 years, it's hard to keep things fresh. It's hard to not be redundant. And really, if you think about it, there are really only 5 vegan news items that are repeated over. I mean, if you look at it, right, there are only 5 vegan news items that come up. Over and over again. It's usually PETA does something stupid. Uh-huh. There's some kind of welfarist bullshit agenda to vote for. Happy meat crap. Happy meat, happy meat, happy meat.
Happy meat.
Oops. Let's see. What else is there?
There's the oh my God, you're gonna die because you're a vegan.
Yeah,
you're gonna
it's
be
the
unhealthy.
study. Yeah, right. One of the 8 million vegan studies that proves that veganism will kill you. Yeah. Yet I've known people that have been vegan for decades and are quite healthy. That's 3. What's 4? I don't know. There are just like a very limited set of vegan stories, right? Mm-hmm. For some kind of animal abuse that needs to be reported on and felt righteous indignation about. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the 5th is, but this is the thing: is that it's like there are these 4 or 5 archetypes of stories that the context changes, but the essential framework is the same. So it's hard to keep the show fresh from that perspective, and we try very hard to do that for you. I think one of the things that has changed over time as we've done the show, though, is that our views have really changed a lot.
Mm-hmm. They've developed and grown.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the part of that comes out of reading more and thinking more about these things. Part of it comes out of when we first got involved with this, we were extremely naive. Mm-hmm. Like we thought, wow, all the animal rights people must get along.
And everything they do is good. Yay.
And everything they do is good. And then, and in a sense, that was kind of like that moment of idealism, right? Mm-hmm. But then you start thinking and you start analyzing it. And you start applying a more critical lens to it. And you start thinking,
who here can tell Bob what critical thinking means?
See, Bob wasn't critically thinking. So, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
And that's where we ended up. So we started analyzing things, thinking about them, and our views have changed. One of the things I think that has defined the show for me, though, is that, and I think for you, maybe you don't agree with this, but I think you do, is that I've never wanted to pander to the lowest common denominator.
No, we never have done that, I don't think.
I don't think we have. Like, I've never thought, well, I have thought, if I say this, we're going to lose listeners, but I've never cared. Mm-hmm. Because I'd rather have 2 or 3 listeners, really, in all honesty, I'd rather have 2 or 3 listeners that are willing to either listen to the idea and consider it, or that are receptive to the ideas than to have 8,000 or 10,000 or 15,000 listeners who I can only reach by pandering to, who I can only reach by not condescending to, but by patronizing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather just tell it like it is, have an opinion, be out there with that opinion, and play it full bore. And you know what? I think part of being a responsible adult in this world and being a rational person, being an intellectual person, means that your ideas change.
Definitely. No, I totally agree with that. And it's kind of nice to be able to basically stay true to what we believe in to do the show, and not have to worry about every single person that might be offended by X, Y, and Z. And we try to take some of that into account. We don't want to be like completely un-PC in some ways. But at the same time, we want to make sure that people understand our arguments and where we're coming from and why we say what we do. And I think it's important.
Yeah, I completely agree. There are some things we haven't talked about on the show that people have wanted us to talk about, mostly because I don't think that they can be covered well in a show.
Mm-mm.
Or in 2 shows or in 3 shows. That's one big reason we have avoided some topics. And one of the big topics that we've avoided is the issue of reproduction.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that there's like I just have so many problems with the child-free crowd. I won't even want to get into it because I know it just start the fight anyway. But I have a lot of problems with the way that's approached. So anyway, that's one of the things that we have kind of stayed away from very consciously, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we've really not been afraid to kind of broach topics within the animal rights.
No, and not afraid to be ourselves, really, because if we're not ourselves, I think it would come off as sounding really too fake. Because I can't act to save my life. So
No,
if if we're not ourselves, then the shows just becomes less interesting, I think.
But one thing I do want to talk about with regard to being ourselves, though, I think we said this on the show before, is that the kind of personality that we have on the show is different than the way we are in real life.
Yeah, it's sort of amped up.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have to drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have to talk. I don't know. For me to talk this fast, I have to kind of get into the groove.
Yeah.
Thanks, Madonna. I'm gonna have to get into the groove. I had to be ready to do it.
Yeah, me too. And normally I just sort of sit around and I'm even quieter than I am on the show. So no, you have to get sort of your radio persona on, and it's not necessarily different than who we are. It's just more of who we are.
Yeah.
Condensed.
I think that's true. I think that's really a really good point. So anyway, those are some of the issues that we have faced over the years doing the show. Some of the kinds of decisions that we made about doing the show. We've always decided to try to keep it real, to keep it as real as we possibly could. And even if we thought that keeping it real would mean losing listeners, because look, the truth of the matter is that if you want to keep listeners and if you want to keep people happy, I think the mainstream of the animal rights movement today is into all this welfarist bullshit. That's where we would be if we were concerned about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not concerned about having 1 million listeners. I mean, I would like to, right? Wouldn't everybody?
Sure.
But I'd rather be playing it in the way that I'm comfortable with ethically from my own perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather be playing it real. And I think that's the place we need to constantly end up.
I agree.
And that's in the next 100 shows.
Yeah.
Well,
it took us 3 years to get these 100 shows. So.
Oh my God. I might actually be 40 by the time we hit 100 shows.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Meh.
I remember when our shows only had 2 digits.
I remember that too. I also remember, this is like, let me think, this is about 1 show for each year that John McCain's been alive.
He understands us because he's old.
He does. He understands us very well. So I don't know. But anyway, yes. So.
For those of you who haven't seen the site yet, go to Does John McCain Wear Depends? Is that it? Or no, wait. Oh, damn! I just blew it.
Oh, you should have written it down before the
Does
show.
John McCain wear diaper? What? Google it.
Yeah.
Shit, I just blew it.
Way to kill a joke.
Ah.
I don't even have this. This computer isn't even networked, or I would. What do you mean not networked? Networked? What is a network? Speaking of that, hold on. You got to hear this. Listen, this is John McCain talking about how much he knows about computers. Hold on.
I am a illiterate that has to rely on my wife for all of the assistance that I can get.
I know how that goes, John. I have to rely on my wife for everything, too. I do too. I feel very old sometimes because I'll be standing there looking at our shelf full of dry goods, and I'll be saying, Jenna, where is the sesame oil? And she'll say, it's right in front of your face, you fucking idiot. And I'll go, what?
I didn't say you fucking idiot.
I know, but I feel that way because I'm a knucklehead. No, you never said that to me.
No.
So anyway, I can sympathize with John McCain. I know how it goes. Yes. And speaking of old-timey, this isn't the segue I want to do for Drina's thing. I just want to play Drina's clip, and here it is.
Hi, Bob and Jenna. It's Drina Burton. Congratulations on show 100. You guys are incredible, and thank you for all the work you do. So I remember when it was just show 20. Seems like yesterday. Oh, Lordy, where has time gone? Things just aren't as they used to be.
No, they aren't.
Sorry. My attempt at the old lady voice. I know, Bob, it doesn't live up to your old man voice.
Oh, I thought it was great, Drina.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have much time here. So congratulations. Keep up the good work. And you guys are so special. We love you. And please.
We are special.
Please keep bringing us lots of your terrific podcasts and all the great work you do. We appreciate it. Thanks, guys. I can't wait to hear show 101 as well. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Drina.
Well, thank you. That was very nice.
It was. It was really nice of Drina to have.
Yeah, and like we just said earlier, Drina's one of our favorite guests. She always says good stuff.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to do a better... Someone had suggested that I do a Things Aren't As They Used to Be sex toy segment. I wanted to do that, but I had to do research for it because I don't know what sex toys were like in 1850 or whatever. So once I do the research, we will have it.
But our another idea was we're going to do a John McCain, Sarah Palin edition of the Things Aren't As They Used to Be segment, but that's hard to do.
I don't know.
I don't know if I can do Sarah Palin.
I can't do John McCain, I don't think. I mean, listen to him.
I am a illiterate that has to rely on my wife for all of the assistance that I can get.
Do you know who I'm going to miss? Who I'm really going to miss? And who also has been a frequent guest, who has made frequent appearances on our show.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he's known. He's made these appearances probably without his knowledge. But I'm really going to miss this guy.
We can have filters on internets.
Occasionally, and one of the things I've used on the Google is to pull up maps.
Oh shit, where's the turkey? I can't see it.
Oh
no, I can't find it on our soundboard. This is what happened.
In a few moments, you can come up and pet the turkey if you want to.
This is what happens when we get new sounds, huh?
I know. I lose. I get all,
Wow. Let me tell you, did that give me the shits?
You know what's sad is that at least George Bush knows how to use the Google.
Yeah, he does. He does.
John McCain doesn't know what the Google is.
Occasionally, and one of the things I've used on the Google is to pull up maps.
I love that. On the internet.
Oh, yeah.
So
good old Georgie.
George has been a frequent guest on our show, and I just feel that when the election happens, I feel like we need to retire him.
Oh my God.
Do you think?
I don't know. Can we retire the turkey one?
Oh, we
might have to keep the turkey around.
You're working hard to put food on your family.
Oh, we can't retire. These are so good.
You can't retire, George.
In a few moments, you can come up and pet the turkey if you want to.
I love that clip.
I know.
And the food on your
You're
family.
working hard to put food on your family.
Yeah, I like those. I like those a lot. I would really miss George.
Yeah.
In what respect, Charlie?
I think that's here to stay.
Yeah.
It's really sad, though, that when you watch Sarah Palin interviews, she makes George Bush look relatively smart.
Uh-huh. Or at least articulate.
Well, you know.
Comparison.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, man.
Vegan food coming at me all night long.
That's what I want tonight. Vegan food coming at me all night long. So what else were we talking about? Oh, go ahead.
I don't know.
What? That's not what you're supposed to say.
Well, let's see. Anything else that we want to talk about our look back?
Our look back. What? I don't remember. I can't recall. I don't recall. I actually don't. That's the problem. So, yeah. It's been fun doing the show for 3 years. I mean, sometimes when you start doing a podcast, it starts to get like work after a while. Mm-hmm. It starts to become... There are parts of it that become work-like, and So it's not always easy to sit down to a show. But all of you out there in our audience have really made it worthwhile for us to do a show.
Yeah, and I've said this before on the show, but our show wouldn't be anything without you.
That's right.
The audience. And
That's
not only
absolutely right.
because you listen to us and put up with us every week,
Well, we can
or
sit here
every
and
other week,
record
or every
ourselves.
month. But, you contribute through your questions and your voicemails, and you feel comfortable enough that you want to rant to us or rave to us about something that happened in your life or something that you found, or, you want our advice on something. And so answering all of those questions is another way which I think keeps our show different from week to week, and it's great. And so we want to thank all of you for taking the time, to send in your emails, send in your voicemails and everything. And we do we do read all your emails.
That's right.
We are absolutely horrific at getting back to them, but we do read them. So thank you, everyone.
Indeed. So with that said, let's play a couple more of these
All right.
little clips we have. Here's one from Gary Francione. As you know, he's been on our show,
At least twice, if not more.
I don't know, a couple times he's been on. And every time he's on, what I like about having a podcast is we don't have any broadcast limits, right? If we want to spend 3 hours with a guest and the guest is willing, and God knows Gary is willing, if we want to spend 3 hours with a guest, we can. And that's what I like about podcasting is we can take that time. We can go into depth when we need to. And here's a little greeting from Gary.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Jenna. It's Gary Francione. Congratulations on the occasion of your 100th show. Thank you very much for all the work you have done, and please keep on doing this marvelous work, educating people about veganism. And for your listeners, I would encourage you to use the tools that Bob and Jenna give you and educate everybody you can about veganism. Remember, veganism is nonviolence in action. It's abolition in action. We will never have an animal rights movement as long as people are eating meat and animal products. And it's important that we are clear and unequivocal in our education about veganism, and that we not fall prey to these to the happy meat movement. It's a very, very counterproductive thing. In any event, again, thank you very much for everything you've done. Keep on doing it, and I hope that your listeners and readers will come over to our site on occasion at abolitionistapproach.com. And thank you for your help, and we'll be starting our podcast soon, Bob and Jenna, largely as a result of all of your encouragement and help. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
And thank you, Gary. It was excellent to have you on, and look forward to having you on again in the future as more things happen and as we have more to talk about.
Yep.
So, you want to do a drunk dial?
We have to embarrass someone, yes.
Okay, you ready? Do you want to say who it is?
No, play it.
What's up? Okay, now we're really drunk, like Lely Dumpster Baby drunk, like that fucking toe up. Anyways, so we're calling back, even though it's an episode early. We know it's number 99 coming next. But we thought you could save it, put in a little envelope, stash away in a nice safe place, and be like, what's up? Happy 100th episode! You guys are awesome. We love you. We really do. So anyways, this is more than plenty drunk voicemail. Like, yeah, I have no business operating a phone, so I'm going to hang up now. Way to go. Awesome. Rock on. Bye.
All right. Thank you, DJ McBastard, for that drunk dial. Nice stuff.
I think LM was sort of involved in the background as well. So
excellent.
So yeah, thanks. We had to embarrass DJ McBastard for that. So,
and we have yet another from Sarah Kramer, who we shall be having on the show shortly because she has a new book out.
Yeah.
Which we will consider this the plug for the new book.
All right.
So go find it. It's cool. It's a cute little book.
It is cute.
Hi, Bob and Jenna. It's Sarah Kramer from GoVegan.net.
Everybody knows who you are, Sarah.
I'm just calling to congratulate you on your 100th Vegan Freak show. It's such an amazing accomplishment, and I just want to thank you for all the great information that you bring to me and your listeners, as well as creating such a great place to share ideas and laughter, and for giving us something to talk about around the vegan water cooler. So congrats again to you both. Here's to another 100 freaky shows. No. How about 1,000? Yeah, 1,000 freaky shows. Congratulations. Keep it up, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.
Well, thank you, Sarah. 1,000 shows?
Man, that's a lot of vegan freaks.
Oh, my God. I really will be.
Yeah, seriously.
Is bobwearingdepends.com. Is that what it is? No.
Does John McCain wear diapers?
Shit, we fucked this up so bad.
Just like did the Hadron Collider destroy the Earth yet?
Yeah. .com
or something like that. Shit.
Yeah. What?
What?
I don't know about these jokes. It was like my favorite pirate joke, a pirate walks into a bar with a steering wheel on his dick. And the bartender says, "Hey, pirate, you have a steering wheel on your dick." And the pirate says, "Yar, it's driving me nuts." Right? I get the student who used to tell the joke. And she would tell the joke, but she would flub it up every time. And so she'd be like, a pirate walks into a bar and says, "Arr, it's driving me nuts." It's just like, you kill the punchline. This is what we did. We've killed the punchline. We have killed it. So anyhow, what else do we have? Are we done?
No, I need to do one more thing.
Oh. And you know what else? We should probably play some of these. Not vegan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the voice of Vegan Freak Radio.
Eat me. Eat me.
I would like to get more. I would like to get more things from him.
Yeah, our voice talent. We definitely need some new sound clips as we go into our 101 and beyond.
How about some suggestions for our voice talent for things he might say? I like the Elite Fortress and Moral Superiority thing. I think I'm going to stick with that. But we could use some new things.
Baba Jana. Woo! Just because he doesn't eat it doesn't mean he doesn't beat it.
He did that one on his own.
Yeah.
I mean, he went off the reservation and did that one and sent it to us. So anyway, you wanted to do something else.
Yes. Well, as a thank you for all the support and love over the years, I have to say, green beans. And I promised Ms. Agogo that I'd speak in Spanish for her. So I wasn't sure, what the hell am I supposed to say? So I thought of something funny, though, that when we lived in Spain for a year, we'd watch.
Now, wait, are you an elitist?
I am.
What are you doing? You dirty, Ivy-educated elitist leaving the country?
We already said this is the Elite Fortress.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
We lived in Spain for a year, and so we'd watch, we'd be bored and we'd watch TV every once in a while, or go to the movies. And in Spain, the voice talent that they use for dubbing a lot of the movies and for the commercials is like the same voices over and over and over again. But it's this really weird, sexy, breathy voice that does everything. I mean, so all the characters in the movies you'll see, and they're dubbed into Spanish, and they're all these
the
it's
female
funny thing.
The male voices are really, 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 really deep.
Yeah. So you'd be watching this commercial for some sort of cleaning product or shampoo, and it'd be like, I can't do it.
Oh, come on, fail.
Tu cocina es más limpia con calgón.
Tu cocina.
Tu cocina es más limpia con calgón.
Ooh. I think we need to stop the show, and I think you're turning me on.
Mantenga tu peinado que quieres con Pantene.
That's awesome. Hey, can you talk like that to me?
Ay, papi.
Whatever you say, mommy.
Por supuesto, papi.
Oh, I like it.
Lo que quieres.
All right.
Muy bien, hombre.
Yeah, I think we need to end the show now.
Okay, there we go. So there you go, Amy. A go-go.
So that's show 100. I don't know. I mean, I feel bad because the show didn't live up to my expectations for show 100.
Why not?
I don't know. The best part of the show is you speaking Spanish. Anyway, so we'll be back again with a regular show next week. It's just we fall out of our rhythm. I feel different. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. It takes a while for us to get back into it. We shouldn't have put this.
No, I mean the show is a different show. It's a different format than we're used to our normal format.
But actually, in show 101, what we want to do, besides the interview with Angry Hippie, is we got a great idea from DJ McBastard to do sort of a vegan 101.
Yep.
So for noobs. So if you're a noob and you want to listen to a great episode, listen next week.
Newbie. All right,
not
newbie.
next week. 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, we can't do it next weekend, but we'll be back on the weekend of the 4/7/11. Yep, on the weekend of the 11th. We'll be back. So also before we go, I want to thank Rat and Cat, who have put together our theme song for us that we've been using since show who knows when. And it is like, it just identifies our show. And the lyrics are great and the music's great. And, you know, a lot of people download the song and listen to it in their iPod mix, as they tell it, in their iPod. In that newfangled contraption, that MP2 PM whatever player, and listen to it in their playlist. So we really appreciate it. And we appreciate the support all of you have shown us over the years. We wouldn't be able to do it without you.
Not at all. So thank you so much.
And thank you for your patience and love. And we'll be back again next week, or on the 11th. See you then.
Bye.
In what respect, Charlie?